Going on, guys? Happy Easter for those who celebrate. It is, Easter Sunday, and I am not with my mom at her memory care home, but I said hello to her and talked to her through my Amazon Alexa Echo Show. So she's good. Holidays don't necessarily mean much to anyone with dementia. Just another day, so treat every day like a holiday, right? And give them lots of love. But regardless, it's been a second. I moved, got assaulted by an alcoholic neighbor, picked up and left, and fingers a little bent and tweaked, but I will mend and live another day. And this video is essentially going to be on drone safety out in the public, because I want to know if you guys have had any encounters flying drones. I could almost bet my life everyone has had some kind of encounter, and let's just talk about it a teeny bit. I always kind of say be a good drone ambassador. With this job that I have now, other than flying previously freelance, you deal with a lot of people, and we really learn how to de-escalate and work through the situations. And really, a lot of the people that are in the same position that I'm in, we kind of say kill them with kindness. I got these little choose loving kindness stickers. I don't know if you can see. Well, you can't, but it says choose loving kindness. But that's kind of a good motto. It's a good Buddhist monk friend of mine, and that's kind of his saying for his mission. And I do believe that if we treat people with respect and don't get automatically defensive. So people may have known I got physically assaulted at Navy Pier roughly a year ago. And I was simply flying my Mini 3 Pro for sunset to get some footage of the sunset by this lighthouse, and a security guard basically started putting his hands on me and pushing me around and then trying to prevent me from getting in my car. He tried to rip me out of my car. Long, traumatic kind of thing, because again, you really don't know who this person is. They say they're a security guard. You don't even know if they're a officer. He was kind of dressed in uniform, so I didn't truly know what was going on. I just knew that he was taking it too far, and there was no reason for him to be putting his hands on me, and he was. And it was getting progressively more intense, and long story short, cameras were all around. This is a body camera, which I did not have at that time. I purchased one shortly after, knowing how important video proof is, because it ended up, because the cameras were all over Navy Pier, settling and getting roughly $10,000 out of it and moving on. Probably could have got $100,000+ based on what he did, because I took some video of my iPhone, and it was pretty violent. It was not fun, and you kind of do get a little PTSD and on edge when you're out doing anything, because people are on guard all the time and living in fear and freaked out because of what's going on in the world. It's kind of a crazy world out there, as we all know. So we have to kind of do our best to fly consciously and mindfully and respectfully, but at the same time, there are a lot of times where people are just ready to assume we're doing something wrong. The other day on my job, with this corporate job, I was flying to get some footage of a bus stop locally, right in the little rural town where I live, and a lady kind of pulled up. I was parked on a street, so I was parked on a public street, had a vest on, not this vest, but a corporate vest with the logo for the company I work for. I had a branded car, and a lady pulled into her driveway. Apparently her kids were playing in the backyard. She automatically was questioning me, what are you doing? Can't you go somewhere else? Really asking a lot of questions that she didn't have to, and I had a drone in the air that I had to pay attention to, and I'm by myself. Next thing, her boyfriend comes out, or husband, whoever it was, barefoot and kind of MMA looking, a little gnarly looking, and started getting in my face, threatening to smash my drone multiple times. So I had to call our corporate security and call the police and document it. But this is kind of what happens a lot of times. And I wasn't being argumentative with them. I wasn't raising my voice. I wasn't yelling at him. I was trying to be nice and kind and explain what I was doing, but he didn't have any part of it. So those are the people that you kind of have to be, very cautious of. And that's where this body camera does come into play, because it shows exactly what's going on. So I would highly suggest, I'll put a link to this body camera. I don't really have a ton of time with it, but I do use it whenever I feel I really need to and have a little added protection. But realistically, you need to wear this thing all the time when you're flying because, of course, the one time you probably don't have it on, that's when something's going to happen. Now, these vests kind of look dorky, and I get it. This one I got on Etsy. It says licensed commercial drone pilot, and please do not disturb. We're not really even licensed. We're certified drone pilots, but it doesn't really matter. It's some kind of verbiage showing people that we're not trying to hide, we're visible, and it says what we're doing. This is just an orange safety vest. Same kind of thing. You do want to stand out. And I don't care if people can make fun of these things all day long. And I'll tell you what, they definitely help showing the public that is very paranoid that you're doing some kind of official work or business. And it is important to not be hiding and not look like some average person with a drone. There is a lot of misinformation about what these guys can do. They think you're peering in their windows or spying on them, which is obviously ridiculous. We know they're wide-angle lenses for the most part. We're not going to be able to penetrate glass easily unless we're like right up there. So again, a lot of uneducated people that just don't have the knowledge, and we can't get mad at every single person. Try to be nice, try to explain what you're up to, and that's it. I mean, sometimes I'll hand them a business card, sometimes I'll show them. And like that other example that happened with the guy who got in my face threatening to smash my drone, there was only so much I can do. I got in my car, called the police, and filed a police report because he's threatening physical violence on the drone. I explained that it's a felony. He said it will just add it to my other felonies. So not too smart and not a guy I really want to mess with because he apparently did not care. And don't need to smash my drone. It's not that big of a deal. I have insurance. I'll get another one. But it can easily escalate and become physical. And then guess what? You know, you're hurt or something else is happening and it's just not worth going there. So that's kind of a little gist of things that you should do. I think these vests really do play an important role. They aren't just to look like you're some, you know, geeky pilot and look at me, I'm flying a drone. They really do convey a message. So say I'm doing a job for whatever it would be, a roofer or a contractor or anything, they're all wearing safety vests. You should be doing the same thing. And you don't necessarily have to get this one that says FAA licensed drone pilot. I get it. You know, can be considered a little whatever, but to the average person, it doesn't matter. It says you're flying a drone, you're not hiding, you're in plain sight, and that's that. You know, and if you hand them a business card, they know what you're up to. They know, again, you're not hiding, you're not trying to do anything that you shouldn't be doing, and explain that you're taking pictures of a roof if you have to, or taking pictures of a school or whatever it may be, that your job requires you to be flying a drone, and that's that. But the body camera, you know, I had pepper spray that I bought. I don't really bother carrying that with me just because I feel, I'm hoping that it never gets to that point, but the body camera is something that is good. I don't know how well I love this thing. The battery seems to kind of go on it pretty quickly. I'll leave a link in the description just so you know which one I'm rocking. And it seems to be good enough. It's 4K. Quality is good enough that it will show anyone what actually is unfolding. But video is really important. When I had that stupid alcoholic neighbor rush me and attack me, guess what? There were 2 Mexican workers that didn't want to talk, that saw what happened, but they didn't want to talk and get involved for whatever reason. And it was my word against this guy who attacked me. I did a little bit more damage to the guy because I had to defend myself, and it was more visible on his face than my little finger that I didn't even notice until the adrenaline wore off. And the officer basically said we can't say one way or another, even though he did physically attack me. That's that. So if I had this thing showing he rushed me and came at me physically, it would have been an open and shut. He would have been brought to jail, and I could have had a police report and pressed charges and blah, blah, blah. But I didn't, and it was my word against his, and kind of sucks. So this little thing is very crucial in my opinion when flying. The vests, again, really important. Let me know what you guys have dealt with. Hopefully nothing too intense, but let me know in the comments below if you had any situations or encounters with the public, how you handled it. Treating them with kindness and respect and trying to be a drone ambassador is always a great approach to this, in my opinion, but it doesn't always work, and it kind of stinks, but that's the reality, and that's where something like this or the vests kind of help. The lady, one time, you know, they bring out their cameras and they start filming you, and it's silly, but people are really kind of freaked out there. And sometimes they'll go, oh, once you explain, I'm sorry, I feel so badly, and at least show that they had, you know, jumped the gun a little bit or a lot. But some people just progressively get worse and they're not having any of it. And, you know, you got to get the police involved or something like that. So that's really about it. I don't know why I wanted to do this video. I think because I've had 2 physical assaults in a year, and I just recently got threatened to get my drone smashed on a job when I was working. And I just see how people are out there, and it's pretty nuts. So there's a lot of crazy people out there really living in fear and freaked out, and you can't really blame a lot of them. But no, these drones are not always recording kids and doing things that they shouldn't. There's a lot of good purposes to them. They can be doing roof inspections, map work, just getting pretty footage of sunsets and whatever else it may be. So public, if you're watching, know that these guys do have a lot of positive purposes. So that's it, guys. Happy Easter and aloha, and I will try to do something soon. I'm just kind of getting situated, and I have a little time off. I may try to get a little break and go somewhere like Hawaii or somewhere else to get a little rest, because I have a month off. So that's it, guys. Happy Easter.